I just wish if Anbernic were going to release a device every week for the rest of the year, that we'd get just a bit more of a heads up. Like all of a sudden, bam, 300X. Now we have this whole new paradigm. Now we're doing the micro consoles. Are we going to keep doing the micro consoles? What else is going to come out this week? Because I'm hearing rumors from Taki that there's another device coming out that we don't even know about yet.
Yeah,
it's like it's hard to keep up. Like we just finished the excitement of the Steam Deck, and now we're already on to the next thing.
Yeah, we're definitely in a holding pattern with the Steam Deck now, for sure.
And we definitely are in a holding pattern. And not that I'm complaining, because we always have something to talk about it, but it's like, man, just need to slow down for a minute. Like,
I'm not a big fan of the micro handhelds, like at all.
Okay, let me hear your thoughts on these micros, because I'm trying to get my head around it. I don't even know if I'm excited yet.
I understand, like even back with the Game Boy Advance Micro, right? Even way back when, I looked at it and I thought, nah, not my thing. The screens are too small. You do?
Yeah.
Or you did?
No, I did back in the day.
Yeah. But the screens are just too small. And it's not because I wear glasses. I'm actually nearsighted, so that's not a problem for me. It's just, I mean, it's so tiny. And then you get the 300X, which is quite a bit bigger than the Game Boy Micro, right? Or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it's still too small. The screens are too small. I mean, the people that they're targeting with these devices are in their late 20s and maybe even early 40s, you know?
Right. I mean, then anyone beyond that, it's like there's going to be serious arthritis coming in. Like, it's going to hurt.
Arthritis, diabetes.
The rheumatoids. And they're going to be trying to play these handhelds.
We're grown adults. I have monster monkey hands as is.
But,
all right?
but Thor, okay, I get it, but it's so darn cute. And
it is adorable.
The screen res is 640 by 480, so it has the 350M screen resolution on that little tiny 3-inch screen.
Why?
It's gonna look nice and high res though.
I know, and I get it. It is.
It has the old chipset from the 350 series, so you know what it's going to emulate. You know you're going to have to run Open Dingex on it. I've heard rumors of some custom firmware. I was watching Retro Game Corps and Taki's video today on it, and it seems like we have some options on the way, but
that's just not. I don't know. It's just not an option for me. How about that? I'm not going to sit here and shit on it. Like Open Dingex is perfectly fine.
Sure,
and it's just the screen's way too small for me.
Sure.
Why? When you've got devices like the PSP, the Vita, even the RP2, the RG351Ms, all that stuff that are every bit as pocketable as that thing, have a more powerful processor in it, and probably better battery life. I mean, why though?
Well, because people like micro. It's so, the Game Gear Micro came out, and then there's the Funky S, and then there is
little Funky S is adorable. The price is wrong, but it's adorable.
It's so cute. Like it's not reasonable. It's not a reasonable handheld to own.
No.
Because you're not going to be, or it's not functional. You're not going to be using it really. At least I wouldn't be, but I just want it in the collection. Like I think I might, I might buy one because the same reason I got the Game & Watch. It's just like, it's an oddity. Like it's a strange, obscure handheld. And I want to open up the pouch and look at it and see like, oh, this is cool. I keep coming back to this. Like it's, I don't know why. I just feel compelled. Like I want to get this in the collection. Yes, it only has 512 megabits of RAM. It has the 3-inch, but at least it has an OCA laminated IPS screen.
The IPS screens, there's a lot of debate between the IPS and the OLED. And we talked about this on the Steam Deck episode a little bit, but it doesn't change the fact that you shouldn't be buying anything that doesn't at least have an IPS screen in the modern day.
Right.
Because there's so many of these devices that choose to go with the lesser screen. I'm still a little disappointed in the RP2 screen.
Yeah.
That thing.
That's fair.
Especially with the quality control issues they had with it. But aim for the IPS screen. Do your swap outs on Game Boys, Game Boy Advances, Game Boy Advance SPs, all that kind of stuff. But just get the IPS panel if you're going to.
Yes, with the laminated business on it.
Yeah,
so you don't have little dust specks and things getting in there.
And
that
treat
would drive
yourself.
Me mad. Yeah,
treat yourself. Get the glass crystal.
Right.
Don't get the plastic. You'll regret it. It'll get scratched up. Get the glass crystal.
Yeah. Live your best life.
That's right.
I'm always at odds with myself with these devices. I'm always constantly flipping back and forth between like, I want one device. Give me one amazing device that can do everything I want. That's the perfect form factor. That's comfortable in my hands. That has the performance I need for all the different systems. I'm flipped between that and like, I kind of want every handheld so I can just start, ADDing out between them and pick one up and like, oh, that's cool, and pick this one up for over there. Like, oh, that one's dead. Screw it.
What's your favorite right now?
Put me on the spot here.
I am. I got a favorite. I'm going to talk about it, but I'm making you say it first.
Right now, I think I'm going to have to go with still the RP2.
RP2. All right.
Not because I'm biased towards it in any way, but because like it just hits me on a lot of levels. Battery life, the clicky buttons do it for me. Mm-hmm. It's easy to pick up and play, and I don't know, the grip, the feel of it works really well for me. So I can throw it in my pocket.
I'm in love with my new Vita, my new to me Vita right now.
Did you buy that white Vita?
I did.
It was on Marketplace.
No, it was on. Terry Eames and myself all bought white 2000 Slim Vitas from the same seller on eBay. So we're Vita bros.
What?
Yeah, and it came with the box. Here, I got the box.
Are there any more?
I have no idea. I can link you to the seller though.
Yeah,
so you can get it on this.
Why do I want it on? I already have a Vita.
I know you do, but you want it.
But the circle button's kind of busted. It doesn't respond very well. So I often don't use it. Oh, it's so beautiful.
This is my first successful screen protector application ever. I've never done it successfully before.
No specks of dust inside of it?
One teeny tiny hair that I don't notice.
Okay.
And there's no
I wouldn't
bubble.
call that perfect in my mind.
Perfect. It's perfect.
I would call
enough.
That garbage. I would say throw the Vita away.
Wow.
Get a new one. You've screwed up. If I get an RP2, if I get a speck of dust under my RP2 screen before I put the screen protector on, I sell it to you.
Yeah.
Immediately. I mean, that's why you have a purple.
I just take the screen protector off because I don't care, because I'm not rough with my devices.
Yeah.
But with the Vita, it was a little more expensive. It's like $165.
That's not bad. Is it hackable?
Oh yeah. Yeah. All Vitas are hackable right now, actually. All of them.
You can downgrade the firmware.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's past
that's actually part of it, is upgrading it to the current release and then downgrading it. Yeah. Yeah. So it's very easy. It was very quick. And then you have the SD to Vita adapter.
Right.
So you can use your SD card. You put it in the game slot.
Right. I got one of those.
You got one of those. Well, then you should be good to go, man.
All right.
Get that 256. It's so fast to hack them now. It's so damn fast.
I mean,
it takes 10 minutes maximum.
I mean, okay. All right. I mean, you're kind of selling me on this on the spot here. Feel a little pressured.
Just a little pressure.
I mean, my current one, the circle button is busted on it. So I think.
Well, then send it to me.
All right. Oh, you have replacements?
I can fix anything.
Put a new. You can. That's right. I don't know who I took you for here. My God.
You met me.
Okay. So what's new this week? You hosted a podcast, a live podcast with Silver Dust for her album debut. That was different, right?
It was definitely different because we did that live with the community. We had several people show up, several people from the admin team at RH.
Right.
We did a little tiny AMA at the end. That was a lot of fun.
That was cool.
But I think it sounded great. Her album sounded great. You could tell she put a ton of passion and care into it.
I could feel that with every movement, every beat. Felt like there was love there, and it felt like I don't know, like she was just, you could tell that she was doing what she loved, and that kind of resonated out. And it was I would love to do more content like that, and it was fun to be in the audience, like not being a talking head. For that was really nice.
That was my first solo app of BRB ever.
Really? That's true. Yeah. Solo host. Whoa.
Yeah, I know, right?
I would be terrified.
You'd be terrified?
If it was just me and then a guest.
I just had that one little moment of like, okay, let's do this. Because it was kind of short notice because I didn't know until the day of that, like I'd be hosting essentially.
You were doing it. I think, from audience perspective, I was like, this is nice. This is cool. Like it definitely came off like a radio interview with a musician or something with an artist. And I'm like, well, we should do some more of this kind of thing.
What I'd like to do is get some console developers and some game developers, especially once the Playdate starts getting more serious.
Yes.
And have some little live debuts on that where we can get a live stream going in the video, right? From a Playdate or something from one of the consoles. And we can talk about the game. We can talk about inspirations and all that good shit.
I'm down. Sign me up. Give me a pin holder, an extra pin holder, and I'll do whatever you say.
All the pen holders.
I'm
going to 3D print you a special dock for your Odin, all right? Where we can rip the guts out of it and put them in. And then it's going to have a pen holder on it. It's going to have 4 pen holders on it, actually, just to really grind it into the Playdate.
Do you know now, as of now, I don't own a single pin holder in this house. I have like 10 pins, okay?
So what you're telling me is that you need one.
That's
what I hear.
A pin holder. And if that alone is the selling point for this Playdate for me, so be it, okay? I don't have time to go on Amazon and look up something like pin holder.
No.
Do they even make those? Is that even a product?
Yeah, they still make pen holders.
I don't want to. That's way too much work.
They usually have like the little magnetic ones for the paper clippies in it.
No. Whatever it is, I'm going to wait for it to come as a dock feature in a retro handheld device. Okay, whatever it is I need in life. Eventually, they'll add it on as an accessory. Right. They made the chicken handheld, didn't they? I always wanted a chicken video game system, chicken themed.
Yeah, did you order one of those?
There's a chicken chain on them. No, Retro Dodo did though. So figure when he's done with it.
That reminds me.
When he's done with it, maybe he can send it over.
Did you see the hand warmer handheld that Powkitty is releasing?
Isn't that just called a just any Powkitty handheld?
Right, but it's a power bank. It's a gaming handheld. It can be used as a controller for another system, and it can like output to a TV as well. But it's a hand warmer, and it has like little bunny ears or some shit on it.
You're talking about like a Swiss Army knife of a type of handheld.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those ones that does everything, just like it does everything, but badly.
Oh, man, I don't know, man. Like, what chipset is it running? What specs do we have on this?
Garbo chipset.
Throw it at me. Do you have a link?
I have no idea, but it's a Garbo chipset. How about that?
Can't run Lineage on it, sounds like. Might as well forget about it.
Forget about it.
No Android? Forget about it.
No Android? Nope.
I mean, none of that. That's why you're not getting the 300X. I know it. You can't run Android. I bet if it did run Android,
I'm sure we could make it happen.
Well, I bet if it had the specs that would make it even a minimum, I bet you eventually you'd be like, you know what? I better see if I can get Lineage running on this thing.
I can't help myself. You know that.
I better see.
Honestly, as it is right now, like, because we just got our game forces in, right?
Right.
So we're gonna get Lineage ported over to that because that's a 3326 chipset. I think I'm set on handhelds for a while. Personally,
no, you're not.
I know I have an addiction, and it's just as strong as yours. At the same time, I really don't feel like I need to get any more.
You're gonna see that. You're gonna see that IGG go up for the Odin, and you're gonna be like, well, here we are. Okay,
what IGG?
I guess
Where is it, Stubbs?
Don't ask me.
Where is it?
There's another guy you should be asking.
Well, he's gonna have to come back on the podcast eventually. Talk about it.
I know.
I'm just saying. I will pre-order handhelds. Yes, as far as like I need more in my hands right now. I want the next generation. I want the 552. I want the RP3.
You're over the 3326 devices.
Yeah, it's such a pain in every direction. My gosh. And I'm over the MT6580 as well. I was over that 6 months ago. My God.
Yeah, I know. No more Retroid Pocket 2 chipsets.
Yeah. So like let's go with this next gen. RP3. Yeah. I'm getting more and more excited for the RP3 over other handhelds.
The Helio P60.
It's probably going to be a P65 or P80. Looks like. But
if it was,
it's going to have a 5 gigahertz chip in it, and we're going to be able to stream on it. All right. We're going to be able to stream games to it. So
how much though you want to, if they had a P80, how much you want to bet that it's probably going to come in around the $200 price point?
No.
You're with the touchscreen?
No.
5 gigahertz, everything?
No.
150?
Well, keep in mind, okay, that they're basically take the cost of the Retroid Pocket 2, right?
Sure.
And then when you replace those components, you have to subtract those component prices from the final price of the other one, right?
Right.
So you subtract the $7 for the processor and you put a $12 processor in, right? So I'm going to put it in the one for launch or even pre-order in the 110 instead of 80, 110 to 130 range.
No.
Yeah.
It's 150.
Nah.
And it's going to be 200 and there's going to be a metal variant.
That'd be pretty funny, actually. But that'd be a huge pain in the ass, especially with that shape.
People have been listening, especially on the Facebook group. I know people have been listening to the recent podcast episodes because there's little sprinkled tidbits of RP3 info drops that you have generously provided because you are a bit in the know. Any new ones tonight? Any new details? We dropped the touchscreen knowledge. Anything new we haven't talked about?
Anything we knew we haven't
chomping at the bit. They are a bit.
I mean, there's going to have to be screen mapping software for it.
So 100% screen mapping software confirmed. Yeah.
I mean, maybe not at launch. Yeah. Maybe that's something that comes later, but there's going to have to be.
Maybe that's something that's coming, let's say, November.
Yeah, whenever, maybe a month or two after the RP3 gets released.
Because the RP3 might launch, let's say, October 15th. Yeah.
October 15th. Dates.
I wish we could share more.
Yeah, I really do want to talk about it because I do know quite a bit, but I have made certain promises to certain people to keep my mouth shut. I have not signed anything, of course, because we're not that big of shills. But yeah, we got that. We got the 552, which is going to be another really cool one. I don't think people are going to expect how much fun that one's going to be. So the RP3 and the 552 are going to be in competition with each other again, which is going to be fun.
Yeah, which if you get a review unit, which I'm hoping you do ahead of time, then you can actually pre-figure out lineage a bit and actually get an OS going.
Yeah, and we've talked with Anbernic a little bit about that kind of stuff already. So
let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do Android everything.
Android everything.
Having said all that, I still love 351 Elec. 351 Elec Reborn, I think it's called now, that Sebion is working on.
Yeah.
I gush over this OS. As far as Linux OSs go, and I'm not the biggest Linux fan myself. Not that there's anything wrong with it in any way. I just tend to gravitate towards Android because that's what I'm used to, you know.
Yeah, without a doubt.
My first emulation years really were with the GPD XD series, and I just really got used to having a touchscreen for one, and two, having Android as the OS. So 351 Elec for me, just I want to see that on Android. I want to see that married to Android somehow.
I get DMs from certain people that are deeply in the Linux gaming communities about our podcast and me, quote unquote, always shitting on Linux, right?
Oh no, I just need to cut out this last 5 minutes, don't I?
And then at the same time, like you go over to their servers and it's fuck Android and blah, blah, blah.
Oh no.
It's like, you guys are just as public as I am. What are you talking about?
Hey, I respect the crap out of Emulec and 351 Elec and a lot of these Anbernic Linux operating systems. I just OpenDingix was hard for me to get into. Simple Menu was a bit of a grind for me, and I was just spoiled by Android coming into this whole thing. That's all. But Android without a touchscreen is a really tough sell for anybody. It's not a fun experience
because mouse mode is a pain, both in the use of it and programming it.
So anything new with 351 Droid, the lineage build of 351?
Nothing on the table right now. We're getting ready to start working on Lineage for the Game Force. Getting that
Lineage for
ported
the
over.
Game Force.
Yeah, because that's a 3326 device, so that shouldn't be terribly difficult to get ported over. And there was an update that went out for the RP2 today as of this recording. I don't know if you saw that.
Over the air, right?
Yeah, that's an OTA update, and I'm going to repackage it so it's the core update once I get my hands on it.
And then what about RGB 10 Max? Any more loving coming to that?
Well, let's
or is that image pretty much done?
They're not done. There's definitely some hard to figure out bugs though here and there. Simple things like we can get Google Play loaded up on it, right? The Play Store. We can get it on there. That's not an issue.
Sure. But
the moment it connects to the internet, it spazzes out.
What do you mean by spazzes out?
I mean, it screws up the console. And it's not something we can control really, because it's something that's happening within the Google apps themselves. It's so weird because it's a perfectly stable ROM and all that kind of stuff. And you can sideload APKs and ROMs and all that good stuff. And then you connect it to the internet with Google Play installed and it just shits the bed. And you can use it. You can log in, but it takes forever. It takes like 20 minutes after you press enter to log in. And then using the Play Store itself is another shit show entirely. So I don't know what the deal is with that.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
We're working on it. We're getting there.
I don't know. I mean, it's cool to give people options, though. Like, it's cool to say, hey, well, you don't need to use Android on these devices. You can. Here's an option.
Well, one of our devs, No Time to Date, and when that kind of started the project off to begin with, he just sent me a build of PPSSPP that has the same flags on it as built for the Linux stuff.
All right, now why don't you say PPSSPP 10 times fast? 1,
PPSSPP, 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 PPSSPP.
Okay, that was really good. All right, let's see. I'm gonna try.
I messed up twice.
PPSSPP, 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 PPSSPP. Damn, you win. All right, Thor wins. I don't know what you win, but you won. Continue.
So we've got a special build of PPSSPP for Android that we're going to start testing out on the 351 Droid stuff that we might include with it because it's a custom build.
Sweet. So, wow. Well,
we got that going on. I'm waiting for my RGB 10 Max screen to come in because my darling child broke it, and I left her $40 less now because of it. But but it's going to be all right.
From the mouths of babes.
I know.
From the destructive hands of babes.
She dropped it. It wasn't a big deal.
It's fine.
But I know. I still, those screens are expensive. It's a really nice screen on the 10 Max. I
beat 2 games of the month today, Thor.
Oh my gosh, did you?
2 in one day because I'm like, I don't have time. I don't have time for anything.
How did you get through Parappa? I can't.
Dude, the game can be beat in 45 minutes. You just sit down and play it.
I know.
And then I fast forward during parts that aren't interactive. I just fast forward through.
So you cheat, is what you're saying.
Absolutely. But I didn't feel like I got to the end and I didn't feel like I'd earned anything. And also my daughter was bashing the buttons and the joysticks while I was trying to play. That's what reminded me of this story, by the way. And then she dropped the controller in the middle of it. I was like, no, I had gotten through. Okay. I got to the very end of the game once and I hadn't saved. Controller got dropped and I had to restart from scratch. And I beat the game. So I beat the game twice today, just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to the end and I put up a screenshot and I'm like, yeah, but I didn't feel like I earned it, even though I played it twice through. I'm like, that doesn't count as earning something. So I refused and I went on to Sonic 2 and I sat and played that from start to finish. Of course, using save states.
I was going to say, no fucking, like I used probably 30 save states while I was going through that thing.
Oh, I used easily 100 save states.
Especially with Metal Sonic. Good.
It all counted. Retro achievements logged it. Like, it's all legit. Metal Sonic drove me nuts, though. I had to redo that part, I think 2 or 3 times. And I got to the very end of the last boss when Robotnik's like flying around in his like missile mech machine.
Yeah.
And I screwed up and I did a save state right before I got stomped to death. And then I loaded back and it was screwed already. So I had to like restart the level and replay Techno Sonic again.
Ugh.
It was the worst. But I beat 2 games today, so I wanted to throw that out there that I actually did something going against what the ethos is of this podcast, of course, that we don't have time for anything. But I made time.
We make
2
time.
games. That's all I'll just say about that. So,
Well, I have completed a whopping 1 game of the month, and that was Sonic 2.
Yeah. Oh, you did it?
Oh, yeah, I did it.
Yay.
Even though I was the one that nominated Parappa, I started trying to do it, and I'm like, no.
Oh, it's garbage. The latency issues.
It's so bad.
I had to turn on run ahead features, and I had to play in my NVIDIA Shield, so I had the power and oomph to do enough run aheads to where there wasn't any perceivable lag for me, because that game is so precise on its timing. And being a music dude, like I needed that like exact on the beat.
Yep.
And it's tough. It's tough. So I meddled with that for probably 30 minutes before I started playing. Just like
configuring it so it would be playable.
The music needs to be. You almost have to play it on the original hardware. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So same, games like Samba de Amigo also are kind of tough to emulate.
And neither of us have played Jet Set Radio all the way through.
I started Jet Set Radio.
Did you?
I threw it up. I was getting some funky frame rate issues, and beyond that, like I wasn't really digging the gameplay too much. I got it, like it's kind of like a cartoony Tony Hawk meets like you just follow the instructions what the lead character does, and you go and you duplicate that. And I imagine at some point in the game you go off on your own and
you do
missions and whatnot.
The controls just were not tight.
The controls weren't tight enough for me. And I'm like, I could play this or I could play Sonic 2 at this point. And I opted for Sonic 2. Because Sonic 2, I beat Sonic Adventure Pocket in November, and that was a grind. That was a very tough game for the Neo Geo Pocket. And Sonic 2 kind of has the same formula, and so it was comfortable. And even the last boss sequences were pretty similar. That game had like a Metal Sonic or Techno Sonic, and then you had the flying zone, and then you had to beat the final flying Robotnik. And so that was
the funny part about Sonic 2, I thought, was how simple the bosses were up until the end.
Yeah, I know the difficulty scaled like crazy in the last 20 minutes of the game. Like it went nutso. And I'm like, what is this? Like the whole time I'm skating through, like I'm not doing the best. I'm not getting all the coins, but I'm like, okay, I got through Emerald Zone, I got through Casino Zone, I got through Metropolis. Then all of a sudden, bam! Now you're playing real Sonic. now it's getting crazy. Yeah, so like, I don't know. And I was quipping with Chthonics at the time. I was like, man, a game pretty much has to be nominated Game of the Month for me to play it if it's a retro game these days.
Yeah,
because otherwise it's just tough. And I have this huge ROM library, but it's so damn overwhelming to look at. Almost like I'm glad that it's there, and I'm glad that I have everything that I want, but it's too overwhelming to even conceive right now.
You got to curate your ROMs, man.
I just need to curate them further down.
Come on.
Like, no, I narrowed down from 16,000 to 3,000. Okay, that's
okay,
right.
That's narrowing it down.
That's narrowing it down. I'm going to just, what if I'm like, what if I need to play a Hamtaro game or a SpongeBob? Like, what if in the future I just have to play it and I don't have it?
You won't.
What am I going to do? Go find it? What if the Internet Archive doesn't have it, or whatever other legal ROM store? It's not available.
Legal
I better.
Store.
You shut your pretty mouth. Shut the goddamn beautiful face.
I'm gonna go down to the ROM store. You need anything? Oh no, you've already got 3,000 ROMs. Don't worry about it. You need to play those.
I'm
first.
good on ROMs, but I wonder, like, with us being who we are, emulation people, worldwide apocalypse happens, like I wonder if I'm first going to think about like food for my family, or if I'm going to think about I better get those ROMs. I better make sure I have like those ROMs on the backup hard drive when I go into the middle of the woods. Both those things will be in my consciousness
just
at least within the same hour. Okay,
that you even consider that to be a possible priority instead of like food, clean water, you know.
Well, there's food. Okay, there's clean water. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Towels.
Okay.
Because you get dirty in the woods, you'll need to take a shower. Okay, so you'll need a shower bag you hang from the tree, let the sun warm it up. And you'll need a bunch of handhelds. Retroid Pocket 2. And you're going to need a backup hard drive or a NAS that you can power somehow on a generator. maybe with the sun.
Just for ROMs.
Making sure your ROM collection stays safe. You can store it on a micro SD card. That uses less power because it's just static.
You guys hear the rationalization? Like he's actually working this through. How do I make it so this seems like a healthy decision? How do I get there?
There's nothing healthy about this. This is
Chthonics. Make sure you get my RP2. Fuck. The zombies are coming. Get it.
Get the kids. Give me my ice RP2. Leave.
Get the Vita too.
Forget the Vita. Just forget the Vita. I might want to play Uncharted Golden Abyss. Better bring the Vita, actually. You never know when you're out here. Everyone's been eating, and we get so bored. And how am I going to play my Vita library if I don't have a Vita?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Vita. But also Vita Schmida.
Vita Schmida. Right?
Like emulation. Come on. He does it all. I feel like we've really gone off the rails here. I think I have devolved this whole podcast. I'm
just letting you
into bullshit.
Actively rationalize for our audience why you need to consider bringing your handhelds with you in an apocalyptic situation.
Well, yeah, I'm psychologically damaged, and that's what we've established tonight.
Damaged.
I'm damaged, as they say.
But that was my original question. All right. So you're taking your RP2 with you above anything else. As I am right now, I'm taking a Vita.
I mean, I have bi-yearly excursions into the wilderness where I practice this scenario. So there's nothing weird about that, right? Like I'm going to Alaska next month with my RP2.
It's only weird.
My Game Force.
If like that's the reason why you're going out into the woods is to see what
I need.
Yeah.
I mean, I have packed my rucksack.
You have a rucksack?
I have a rucksack for going out into nature. That I only want to carry one thing on the plane. Okay. I want to carry it with me. I don't want it to get lost. Okay. I don't want to be trusting a second bag floating off that I hope, like carrying food. Okay. That I hope will make it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I feel like an old man ranting right now.
You are, and I'm just letting you. I
think you're gaslighting me a bit, and
a little bit, yeah.
And I trust you, Thor.
You're the one who does the editing, so it's your choice to cut this shit out or not. All right, so
yeah, but I'm gonna forget that this happened, and I'm gonna cut out like pauses and things like that, and then this whole section of me literally ranting like an 85-year-old man about Wheel of Jeopardy being in the wrong time slot. Did I just say Wheel of Jeopardy?
Wheel of Jeopardy, yeah.
It's already happening.
Jeopardy. No, that's not how it goes.
God.
The 34-minute episode is going to get cut down to 7 minutes. You're going to message me in a few days and be like, this shit was unusable. I deleted it.
God damn. I don't know where to go from here. I really don't.
Well, here's where I want to go ahead.
Final Fantasy 14. Okay.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, but yeah, you can go out in the woods all you want, but you can't take certain games with you to the woods. You know.
What you talking about? What you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. What are you talking about? Final Fantasy 14. You just started playing it. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, I know. I finally started playing 14. I got a character, and he's like level 7. Like no big deal.
Okay? No big ABD.
MBD.
He's a marauder.
He's a marauder. And I've killed like easily 40 river toads.
So many river toads.
Like it was no problem.
Well, how are you liking 14 so far? You started off on the PlayStation, then swapped over to the PC because you're a keyboard and mouse player like me.
I realized I needed the keyboard and mouse. I thought that I could get away with the PS5 and the DualSense and the touchpad, but it's no go. I have a concern with 14, and the fact is, yeah, you're right. I can't. How are we going to play this? We're in the woods after the apocalypse.
You can't.
What are we going to do?
You got to play it now, before the apocalypse.
Before the apocalypse, I just spend the money and expect everything to be fine.
Yeah, that's how
we're gonna have to like
works.
Cosplay it.
That's how non-emulation gaming works.
If we go into the woods together, apocalypse time, sure, bring our families, make sure everyone survives. We need to continue the FF14 experience.
Well, you haven't even gotten to crafting yet, so
we're gonna be talking to trees, man. Like we're gonna be talking make NPCs out. Well, yeah, I mean, me too. I mean, not like probably how you're talking to trees, but I'm
talking about it in game.
You're talking to trees in the video game,
right?
You're talking to trees in reality. I
don't talk to trees in reality. No, that's not how I work.
I would talk to a tree. I would. I definitely would talk to a tree. And the fact that there's a pun in this sentence makes me very happy. I realize that I've driven this podcast episode into the ground tonight.
You have.
And if there's any final thoughts you have, I'll be happy to take them.
No, I got nothing. Let's end this.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining BRB Gaming. We never did an intro today, but I'm your host, Stubborn Pixel.
And I'm here too, Thor.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.